This week's blog comes from Tabcorp Park, Menangle, and I have David Watson with me here today.
Morning,
of course,
John.
This is the big weekend, the main event on the New South Wales calendar, the Miracle Mile. But we'll start today with the fact that Bathurst have two honorees this year, Colin and Cheryl McDowell. Very worthy honorees, and of course they won with Michelle Lee Mack the tiara last year, David. So they're strong supporters of this club as well?
Yeah, very worthy recipients. Yeah, they're great sponsors and supporters of this club and Bathurst. I can remember as a young bloke watching Cole go around in many of the Bathurst gold crowns and tiaras over the years. He's had a lot of very good young horses to participate in that carnival, so good on him.
Well done, Colin. They were many years ago when you were young and Colin was going around there. Team Teal is really going well, but it's just about wrapped up. One more week. What it's good to see, we've just tipped over or almost at the $40,000, and we thank Club Menangle, we thank Bankstown threw in, and a lot of other clubs that are helping towards here. Of course, it's underpinned by Tabcorp as well. But to all our ambassadors, and it was great to see at Tamworth only yesterday, Sarah Rushbrook owning, training and driving the winner, Adrenaline Rush. So that's really good for Team Teal.
Really recognisable too. We had a race here, the lady drivers with all the Teal colours on last Saturday night, and we've got a race named after the Team Teal this Saturday night, Miracle Mile night, in recognition of it. So great job.
I think you got me last week because David rang and said, look, race whatever it was, why don't you throw a little bit extra in if it's a female winner? Well, silly John did, and of course it had to be a female winner, the driver that is. On the stallion front, on the breeding front, Warrawee Needy from Yirrabee Stud, isn't he doing a fantastic job in his first season?
Yeah, fantastic. He had a double at Bathurst, I think, on Monday, rocking down under a 2-year-old filly. And I'm the grog father, I think it was John Pizarro's stable, won the first two races at Bathurst. It's a really good start to his, hopefully, a very promising and fruitful career.
And what I need to tell participants is those two races at Bathurst on Monday were additional to the calendar. Where Harness Racing New South Wales sees there's a need and also a very good reason, and the horses are there, we'll add to that 2-year-old calendar. So that, like also Menangle next Tuesday, there are two races on the program there. One of the things we did there, because Penrith was washed out last night, thanks to the generosity of the club, we held that meeting a little while longer, and we got those extra horses in for Penrith. Two full fields, one of fillies and one of colts next Tuesday. I think they're races 4 and 5. Yeah, and what's important about that is horses need to have a start before the Bathurst Carnival, so really we're important. Providing the opportunities there. This weekend, Miracle Mile's big, but even bigger for New South Wales and the breeding industry is the APG yearling sales, and they kick off basically tonight with the yearling parade.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time, the APG sales. From this club's point of view, we used to be really closely involved with the sales, and we used to be bid spotters, all the boys that worked here. It was a lot of fun. With the participants too, with the people that are buying. Also, coming up, there's a bit of a change, I think, with the process.
There is with the racing process. APG directors have elected to make state-based finals, but what is really good as far as Club Menangle's concerned, they're value-adding to the two finals here at Menangle.
Yeah, look, the club's pledged $25,000 cash bonus to the first local horse home in 2021 to the fillies and the colts and geldings. The condition of that the horse has to be bred, foaled, branded and sold in the state. So that's a $25,000 cash incentive on top of the prize money, which is, as we know, fantastic. From this club, really supportive of the APG. So that's something to really pay attention to when you're putting your hand up on Sunday.
Yeah, and when you're putting your hand up on Sunday, by the way, Harness Racing New South Wales has offered a 30% discount, thereabouts, it's a couple of dollars in that 30%, of course, to the buyers for the series sustaining fees for the Breeders' Challenge. Because with the Breeders' Challenge, though, what you buyers should know is it's the 2-year-olds, colts and geldings and fillies, $125,000 there. The 3-year-olds, Colts and Geldings fillies, $150,000. Then you roll into the $100,000 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, both sexes of the Riverina Championship. So you should series sustain, because to get into those last two, you must be Breeders' Challenge eligible. To get into all of them, you must be Breeders' Challenge eligible. So that is something for buyers on Sunday, a real bonus. We will carry that over to the Bathurst sale also, but tonight's the Yearling Parade. Flora Robson, she's really been into it, David.
A big part of it too, and it's a bit of a social activity. Like, it's just such a big weekend, so that gets the ball rolling, I suppose, for a lot of the participants. They'll be out there tonight. I think there's a free barbecue tonight. So the Yearling Parade, a lot of the vendors take a lot of time and take a lot of pride. And their horses right for that. And that rolls over, as I said, in tomorrow with the Miracle Mile, and then the APG sale on Sunday, where it's just a good event.
It is a great event, but I was talking to Flora early in the week. They've limited to 100 yearlings parading. They got the 100 in a flash. I was talking to one vendor the other day, and he wasn't cursing the rain that's fallen, but he said he had a lot of muddy horses to parade. But it's in the presentation. But what Harness Racing New South Wales is also doing there, and it is in the presentation, but we've steered away a little bit because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Out of all the horses that parade, 4 fillies will be drawn out, and 4 Colts and Geldings will be drawn out of those that parade, and Harness Racing New South Wales will provide free series sustaining fees to those horses. And we have 6 trotters in the sale this year. Every one of those trotters that's genuinely sold, they will receive sustaining into the Trot New South Wales series. So it's all there. It's all there for vendors. It's all there for buyers. So I suggest 2 things. If you can get there tonight, get there. It'll be a great social function, but you must be there on Sunday because, APG has sold 3 recent Inter Dominion winners. So the champions are there at those sales.
Great day. Look forward to it.
And, of course, Saturday. Miracle Mile. It's your time of the year, David. It's I won't say it's stressful. It's just a lot of work, but we've had a great carnival. We've heard other media, so we're not pumping up our own tyres here, say last week was the greatest night of racing on the harness racing calendar ever. This week is certainly equal. The Miracle Mile, where do you start?
Look, it's a great race, as it always is. We've changed the calendar around a little bit this year so far. All the parameters say, all the indicators say that it's been successful. We'll go back and have a look at all that. We just wanted to make a carnival about it. Last week probably exceeded expectations on the quality of the card we got, which is a great thing. But the big show's tomorrow night, isn't it?
It is the big show tomorrow night, and what's good about it, the barrier draw has worked reasonably well. We don't have an odds-on favourite, but across the board with the Derby, that's a great betting race, and we must think of Tabcorp and with the way we need this revenue to bet. But what a great race! You've got Better's Heart, first mare for great 5 or 6 years. Wonderful story, and to relate, and David and I know this because the owner, the trainer, he was desperate to get into the Ladyship Mile.
He was happy to be he was just looking for a run in the Robin Dundee.
That was his first port of call, and David rang me and he said, can you have a look at this horse tonight in New Zealand? Went enormous, but got beaten. Had the run the next week. And then it has that super run in the Ladyship, so it's there. The controversy around Code Bailey's there, but he's in the race. King of Swing, what a wonderful story that is. Major Dan, desperately unlucky with the barrier draw, but for Kevin Pizarro and his team, we hope it come through. Every single horse in there, Ultra Orlando and Mark Purdon getting that drive at the end. Where do you stop?
Look, every horse has deserved its spot. That's what's so good about the process now. It's not someone sits on their laurels maybe from 3 or 4 months ago. They've earned their spot by way of qualification, whether that's the Newcastle Mile, whether that's the Chariots, whether that's the Sprints last week, or now the Ladyship Mile, which we've re-included into the process. Every single horse has earned its spot. Look, personally, I think King of Swing's the leader early. I don't think Luke's fully wound him up out of the gate yet, but I can assure you there's no faster horse out than King of Swing. He's the early leader. What happens after that's anyone's guess. I think it's about 350 the field at the moment. because you've got horses that just have to go forward. Major Dan probably knows no other way than just to go forward. So he doesn't have to zip there, but I think Toddy will keep pressing forward. Then, like Cade Bailey, you've seen what he's going to bring to the race last week. He was prepared to sit park last week in what was a really hard heat and finish second. Had a fantastic run, the first time running the hard mile here at Menangle, which we all know is really difficult to do first up, and he done a great job at that. Lochinvar Art, well, he's been there, done that in all the juvenile races and the 4-year-old races. 148.6 winner at Milton. That's a pretty good form line going into it. I was asked a couple of weeks ago at a breakfast, David, what's your tip for the Miracle Mile? And I said, look, I probably can't do a name, but I have now, because I said I think the Chariots of Fire, when it was such a good race, will probably be my tip in the Miracle Mile. So I've got to stick.
Yeah,
and it's Lochinvar Art.
And you can't forget AG's White Sox. But let's flick back to Lochinvar Art. I'm pretty sure he was APG presented at sale. So he's bred in New South Wales. He by a collection of breeders there, sold interstate, no doubt. But that's all the more reason you can buy these horses, and you can buy them at that APG sale. So every horse has a chance in this race. You can't put a line through any single one of them. So that's the Miracle Mile. And of course, one of the things that we will have up and running this Saturday night at Menangle is the new sectional timing. The chiplets on the screen, they'll be shown on Sky Channel. So we've been experimenting or testing that the last few weeks. David, where does that sit? You had an experience of live on Tuesday.
Yeah, races 2 and 3 went live. So anyone watching Sky Channel hopefully would have noticed that the chiclets, just like the gallops, along the bottom, so you can see where your horse is placed in a run. Sometimes they're a little bit difficult to see. They follow the horses, so there's a tracking system. We've got the GPS little transistors in the saddle cloths now. That's a process in itself. What also comes up on the right-hand screen is the sectionals. So you're getting a live feed of what the sectionals are, and they're actually to 100th of a second, where the semaphore board and the timing systems are just 1/10 of a second. Look, it's been a long process. Phil Ryan, James Donaldson, the team from Sky Channel, this probably started about a month ago with in-house testing. We've done a couple of, if you want to call it live testing, but in-house to see how it would work. Sebastian, Carlos and the crew have been here going through that process. Look, there's been a lot of work. It's a big one to produce it for the first time on Miracle Mile night, but it's a Miracle Mile night, so why not?
Why not? Yeah, but I had reservations, as you know, and you say it's been a month. It's actually been quite a lot longer with the building of this system. All credit goes to those who did that, but it'll be brought Tabcorp, Sky Channel, Harness Racing New South Wales and Club Menangle. We'll be giving punters out there state of the art on their screen. Sectional timing, positions in running, going forward. We keep our fingers crossed. As I said, I have reservations doing it on the biggest night of the year. But anyway, we've got it and we're up and running.
Sorry, John, but it also produces a sheet which will be available on, I think it's the Sky Active page, where it goes through and you'll be able to click onto a section of it where you'll be able to get every horse's sectional, how far they run, what their top speed was, who was the fastest horse during that sectional. So I produced a couple of those sheets here on Tuesday for a couple of the trainers and drivers, and they were just amazed. By the end of the day, they just kept coming up asking for more of the information. This will be available to punters, and that's what punters want.
And it'll be available to owners, which is very important. So owners will know exactly, it'll confirm what the trainers are telling them about how their horse is progressing in a race and what the obstacles may or may not have been there. David, a wonderful weekend coming up, but it's been a pretty tragic sort of a week, a very tragic week. A young girl down in the Riverina, Ella Painting, she sadly passed away in a single vehicle car accident, and to her mother and father, Matt and Melissa, and her sisters, Annie and Lily, our absolute deep felt condolences and there, because a loss of someone so young is so difficult to take. So on behalf of all the harness racing industry, on behalf of my board members and all the management staff at Harness Racing New South Wales, our deepest condolences. But even another incident was with Christine Pizarro, the wife of John Pizarro. She succumbed to her a long battle with cancer, and she's passed away as well. Well, anyone that knew Christine, just a wonderful lady, always had a smile on her face, always out to enjoy the company she was with. So to John, the family, and all her dearest friends, and she had so many, once again, the condolences of Harness Racing New South Wales. Well, that's it, David, for the blog this week. It's a bit longer than usual, but I think we've got everything across the board, and I thank you for being part of it.
Pleasure.